Hello, everyone. So, I really want to talk about how it is vitally important that we become masters at both identifying and fulfilling our needs. Majority of people, myself included, we are masters already at fulfilling our needs. Well, or at least attempting to fulfill our needs, I should say. Babies, when they're hungry, when they need their diaper change, when they want to be held, what do? They cry. As an adult, if I'm hungry, if I'm thirsty, what do? I go get something to eat, I get something to drink. Getting our needs met or attempting to get our needs met is something that humans, we already do on a regular basis, day in and day out. Identifying our needs, though, is a whole different story. And it's really important that we make that a priority, actually identifying our needs. And I've kind of talked about that a little bit. I haven't actually called it identifying our needs, but I have spoken on in my prior video how I just realized that I'm not a competitive person. Instead, what I actually am is a person who is an achievement junkie. What does that mean? It means that because I didn't have certain needs fulfilled in childhood, certain needs surrounding being nurtured, getting attention, things like that, what that ended up doing was I went and sought to get that particular need met for affection and love and all that in accolades. I was seeking outside attention, accolades, in order to kind of seal that hole in my life. And it did it does kind of work for a little while. But as I gave that example before, how it's kind of like having a hole in a boat, and you're trying to kind of get the water out, but that's only covering the symptom of the hole that's in the boat. It's the hole that needs to be patched. Don't worry about trying to get the water out of the boat. What you need to do is actually patch that hole. And that's what seeking accolades actually did for me. And so here's me going from different cool things, going from one cool thing to the next cool thing, until I realized, it really wasn't fulfilling my need, my underlying need that I actually hadn't identified yet very well. And so I was doing this, that, and the other. And that's not to say that, a lot of the stuff I have done isn't cool. It is. But at the end of the day, my reason for doing so, my actual intention for doing so, was not in the right place. It was really misaligned for what I was attempting to do. And it wasn't until adulthood, several weeks ago, that I was actually able to identify that need. And that is why it is vitally important that you actually take time to heal, go to therapy, all of that, in order to identify your needs. Because what's going to end up happening is, if you're not anchored in terms of knowing yourself and knowing what you need, what you're going to end up doing is all of this extra stuff, like me chasing accolades and everything, when there was actually something else that I needed entirely. All that was smoke and mirrors. What I needed was something different. So what you're going to end up doing is chasing all of these outside things, trying to alleviate your symptoms of what your core needs actually are, right? And so how do you even know what your core needs are? And it is, I do admit that as you get, at least for me, as I get older and have more experience, it's become, I don't want to say easier to identify needs, but I'm identifying them more readily, I would say, because some of that is like really hard, in-depth work. Doing inner work, shadow work, all of that is really difficult. It's simple in terms of some of the things you do, and just to like learn yourself, but to actually get that raw with yourself can feel really difficult. So experience and age definitely are things that help in actually identifying your needs. And so also in that vein too, throw a little science at you, the human brain actually isn't fully cooked. It isn't fully done, actually growing until, or growing, developing, whatever, until you're in your mid-20s or so. This is important because especially when it comes to romantic relationships in particular, we actually start dating for real. I guess 18, 19, 20. I know there's relationships we have earlier than that. I had my first boyfriend before that, but it isn't until adulthood that we really start doing, serious, adult things and everything. But being 18 is a little bit of a ways off from your mid-20s. That is a lot of time where you are constantly changing. Your personality is still being set. Your brain, like I said, your brain is still developing. And so truly knowing some of your needs actually may not be that clear until you get a little older. And this, again, why it's important to be, to actually practice being introspective now as you're gaining experience and growing. And that's not to say too that you shouldn't date or anything before that. But if I could go back and tell my 18-year-old self, hey, just take some of these experiences with a grain of salt, because you're still kind of developing your sense of who you are, your personhood. That would have actually changed, I think, quite a bit of few things for me. Though I am a very hard-headed person at times, I do like I do like getting like kind of cheat codes to life kind of deal. Like, oh, okay, I need to sit down and actually really learn these things about myself. Oh, okay. Because once you do that, once you're actually able to identify your needs, then you're able to better fulfill them. So I know for me as a person, it's really important to me to have a person speaking into me. And that is why, like I said, I was kind of all over the place. I was chasing accolades and chasing achievement and everything, where I really needed to be introspective. Really needed to identify that, okay, it's actually because, I didn't get certain things as a child. What that actually means is now in adulthood, I need to make sure that whoever I partner with, and that's even platonic relationships, just anything in general, I need to make sure that I am seen. I need to make sure that I only deal with people who are willing to show their love, show their affection, because when that doesn't happen, then I start to kind of like feel I'm a little bit out of sorts here. Now, that's not to say too that I'm kind of hanging on anyone's feelings or word towards me. That's not what I mean either. Not like, I need these people to make me feel good about myself. No, that's not what I mean. What I mean is I didn't always have people around me with the best intentions, or even who knew how to show their intentions. So I just need to be around people who are authentic. I need to be around people who are grounded. And I also need to make sure that I am that person as well. So others around me can also sense too that same thing, as we tend to be mirrors of ourselves and everything, right? And so again, that is a need that I've identified, and I'm kind of like really learning how I tick in terms of how I personally deal with being in situations that are not as nurturing, and what they actually do to me. What they do is they start to trigger my need to like go and just kind of be out here and, like I said, chasing accolades and things like that. And I've said earlier before too that I had once the kind of wow factor fades, and I really see what's happening for what it is. And I didn't always know what was going on. I just knew that it just wasn't working for me anymore. And I had the nerve to kind of be annoyed that people were still identifying me from, through that thing that I did. Like I mentioned how I was an athlete, and people will still bring it up. And I'm just like, I was like, girl, like, that was your thing. It's okay. But also one of the reasons why I did that was because it was a learning experience. But a lot of it too was I can see also where my kind of my vice was kind of rearing its ugly head here, where it was like, oh, okay, accolades are pretty cool, but then after a while it actually wasn't plugging that hole in the boat that I was talking about. It wasn't actually identifying and fulfilling my needs. I was fulfilling what I thought were my needs, but I wasn't actually identifying and then fulfilling that need. And again, that's why this is very, very important. This is vitally important. Vital means necessary for life. It really is that serious. Because then what's going to end up happening is you'll be out here in adulthood and you'll be in your 30s, your 40s, and your 50s, still out here chasing what you thought you needed, and having situations and relationships, both platonic and romantic, going up in smoke. And then you're like, what is going on here? I don't understand what's happening. Pause. Okay, hopefully it didn't blip for you, but it said pause for connection issues on my end. I'm like, what? As I was saying, what ends up happening is you'll kind of be out here. Did it again. You'll be out here attempting to get your needs met, and it's not. It's going to fail every time because you haven't actually identified what those are first. So that's why I said vitally important. Because the trickle-down effect is very, very real. You'll think that something isn't a big deal until you kind of take a deep dive and say, oh, that's where this happened. This is where this piece fits in. And, I need to heal here, and then I'll feel better here. And then you'll kind of see everything start to shift around for you. You'll see a lot of change in your life once you actually take that deep dive. And what I want you to do, this is what I want you to do, because everybody thinks that their shit doesn't stink. Yes, I said that. Everyone thinks that they're perfect. Everyone thinks that they don't need anything to change. And this is one of our downfalls, is that we get out here and we want everyone else to fulfill us. You say, oh, I want this person I want this person to fit this way into my life, and I need this person to do this, and this is who I need, and da-da-da-da. You need to learn yourself. This is what you need to do. You need to develop a sense of self-awareness in order to identify these needs for yourself, because nobody else can do it for yourself. This is your responsibility. This is your responsibility, you watching, to identify your needs. It's not anybody else's. They don't exist to read your mind or try to figure out anything. Everybody's already trying to figure out themselves. Nobody's out here just has arrived. Everyone is trying to figure out what is going on. All right. It is not easy out here. And this is why it's your responsibility to learn all this about yourself, because nobody else is going to do that for you. Not your mom, dad, boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, husband, whatever, cousins, the dog and the cat are not going to figure things out for you. This is your responsibility to figure it out. And the sooner you take ownership and responsibility of this and self-awareness of this, is the sooner that you are going to be able to fulfill your need once you identify them. Once you say, I don't know everything. I don't even know everything about myself. I'm constantly learning. I'm constantly experiencing things. Once you actually get accustomed to realizing that, you don't know everything and there's a lot to learn, that is how you will be able to sooner fulfill those needs and sooner be ready for relationships of any kind. Because I feel like now, the things that I'm learning about myself is going to make me a better friend. It is going to make me a better partner. One of the reasons why I keep saying, and I made another video that, I am okay with being 35 and single. Yes, I am okay with being 35 and single because there is a lot of things that I needed to learn. And I would have driven someone batshit crazy trying to keep up with me and being out here just trying, like I said, chasing accolades and all this other stuff. Like, this girl is crazy. She's always picking out some something to feel good about herself. Now that's not to say that I don't knock things out of the park. I always knock it out of the park, but it's just a lot of stuff out here that I was just doing and chasing and not focused and only because I was chasing a feeling. I was trying to plug that hole in my boat. And that is just not, that's exhausting. That's extremely exhausting. And I'm only my, like I said, only in the 30s now. But that is no way to live. I'd rather sit down, continue to develop my sense of self-awareness so that I am able to identify and then fulfill these needs. And again, that's how you become a better person, a better friend, a better partner, is when you truly know what you need. And again, once you know what you need, the trickle down effect is amazing, because you'll start attracting better people in your life, better experiences, situations in your life. You'll see a turnaround when you truly embrace being self-aware, and fully embrace just being like I said, just being self-aware. I'm trying to find other ways to say it, but that's it. That's the thing. Being self-aware is how you truly fulfill those needs that you have. Okay? So hopefully this really spoke to someone. I have my consultation link down below. I'm not saying bio. I have a tendency to say bio. I have my consultation link down below. I have my link to my mailing list. Please sign up for the mailing list, because I have some courses that are coming down the hatch that I need you to enroll in once they come down. There's a predating course coming, and there's also a winning womanhood course that I'm working on. I created that one because I honestly believe there's certain factors that go into just being an awesome person in general. I wish I had a guide like this when I was 17, 18, 19 years old. I wanted to know, like, what is being an adult? This is that kind of guide. And it's going to have a little bit of everything in there. But it is a course that my winning womanhood course. And then also a predating course that does not have a name. Once it has a name, I'll tell you the name, but it doesn't have a name right now. And some other things that are coming down the hatch too. But you want to make sure that you are on that list, so you'll be the first to know what is coming down the hatch. Instagram is I am Bliss Alexandria. Please follow me on Instagram. And there's a bunch of other stuff and whatnot down below. But what else? Oh yeah, subscribe. Subscribe, please. And I'm trying to think of what else. I think that's all. So you all have a great morning, afternoon, evening, whatever it is where you are. Have a great day. Have a lovely day. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully this all made sense. Please tell me what you think down below. Also, let me know what else you want, what other topics you want to hear down below, and I will do my best to answer them. And yeah, so that is all. Thank you so much. Love you all. Until next time. Goodbye. Thank you.